us what has been the observation of the SADC regarding the coverage of the general elections in Mauritius, especially from the local media?
So far, we have a very good interaction with the local media. They are very open and frank and on what are the challenges are and what are the positives that we have in Mauritius. We have seen the local media covering us when we launched our statement already. They were there covering everything. So we are fairly satisfied with the local media. Thank you.
And how about the way they are covering the campaigns, the electoral process?
It's very difficult to say that because we haven't received any reports yet. Today will be our first meeting from our observers on the ground. They are the ones who are going to give us that information. And secondly, in our rooms where we stay in the hotel, there is no a local channel that gives us an overview of what the media is all about. It's only the CNN, your Al Jazeera. So it's very difficult for me to comment on the coverage of the media in general.
Okay, I would like to put, you don't read the Mauritian papers?
No,
you have access to local papers?
We do have the access to the local newspapers. In terms of the newspapers, I think it is fairly covered. The elections are fairly covered. Even myself, as somebody coming from outside Mauritius, I have an understanding of the political situation, what is happening. In terms of the newspapers, the media is fairly fair in terms of coverage, yes.
It's a busy year for the SADC Commission. I think there are 7 elections.
It is a busy year for SADC. We have six elections this year. This is the 5th elections, and then from here we'll be moving to Namibia to have our last election on the 27th of November.
What will be the main things that you will look out for during the elections, polling day counting?
We look at like in your polling day, we look firstly whether the polling stations open on time, the election material is sufficient. You look at the queues, how they treat the voters, how they treat the elderly, the disabled. We look at whether everybody was treated fairly during the polling day. Before the elections, we look at the campaigns, whether it is free and fair, whether opposition parties, the ruling parties, everybody is treated fairly. How are their campaigns? Are there any disturbance with regard to the campaigns?
Are you going to issue a statement afterwards? I think on the 12th, or you're going to do something?
Correct. When we finish with the elections, we will have what we call a preliminary statement. That was initially going to be issued on the 12th, but we are now in discussion as to whether we should not push it to the 13th, because we understand there is another process that needs to take place that about the losers on the 12th, best losers on the 12th. So we really want everybody to attend the preliminary statement. So we might push it to the 13th to accommodate everyone.